They just can't quit Harry Potter.
Nope.
Hey guys, this is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about the situation with Harry Potter and J.K. Rowling, who has been canceled like 19 or 20 times this year by Twitter and her fan base. And it's funny.
Mostly by Twitter.
Mostly by Twitter. This is hilarious. I saw this on Twitter that there's real life Quidditch, which
Well,
is
I did know.
kind of ridiculous.
I did know.
You've got people prancing around on broomsticks.
Hey, I'm just like, if it makes you happy, and
If
you
it
get
makes you happy.
exercise, go for it.
And two, they're gonna change the name of this because they're offended by J.K. Rowling. You realize she still invented the game, right? Like, it doesn't change anything.
We're gonna cut her out because she invented it, but we don't like her now, so we're gonna ditch the Quidditch bitch, the Quid bitch.
The Quid bitch. She still gets your money. This is also on top of journalists, game journos, trying to rationalize buying secondhand copies of the Hogwarts RPG because they really want to play the game. They just don't want to give her money. I'm like, well, somebody had to buy it first.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you buy it secondhand, she's still getting paid.
But she already, it was a licensing deal. She already got paid before you bought the second hand. That doesn't impact it at all.
No. They cut her out of the 20th anniversary of the movies. They had the thing on HBO Max.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to like what she said, but she
No.
still made Harry Potter. And if I were the person that created it, I'd be pissed. I mean, I don't agree with everything she says either, but this is kind of going too far.
Yeah, she was saying some stuff on Twitter the day I think they announced, or the day that they were going to premiere this anniversary special. And I think that's her way of being like, F you. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, guys. Like, you do realize you cannot detangle Harry Potter from J.K. Rowling. Like, she has got one of the most ironclad contracts of any author in history. Mm-hmm. Every time somebody mentions the Wizarding World or anything associated with it, she gets a nickel. Mm-hmm. So you're going to have to decide, is it worth it to you to continue to be a Potterhead? Or, does it mean more to you to cancel her? Because you can't have it both ways. Changing the name of shit doesn't change anything. She's still getting paid. So we're going to talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Almost 248,000 subs.
Yay!
We're getting there. Thank you so much for the support. Greatly appreciated for sure. Hoping to get to 250 by Christmas, if not by New Year's. Sometime. So yeah, let's talk about the prancing on broomsticks. Mm-hmm. This is the thing.
You can't say much. You were prancing in a Tauntaun costume.
I was prancing. I pranced fiercely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did. I was high stepping.
As you said, I'm prancing. So you can't say anything.
So we got this inflatable Tauntaun costume, and I was wearing it, and it's got like the fake legs. It's kind of like the cowboy costume. Mm-hmm. And I was prancing about, with my lightsaber held high. And by lightsaber, I mean an actual lightsaber as I was prancing. Anyway.
You had to clarify that. Okay.
Anyway, this I thought was, this is like a headline from The Onion. Not the fact that people were actually playing this. And it looks like a variation of soccer, I guess, but you're on a broomstick. But Harry Potter sport, Quidditch, is going to change its name, citing J.K. Rowling's anti-trans positions. So we can't call it Quidditch anymore, but she still invented the damn thing, right? Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, she still invented it. What are they going to call it?
Wait. I'm sorry. I can't. U.S. Quidditch and Major League Quidditch?
Yes. Real life Quidditch, inspired by the magical game in Harry Potter, is changing its name, citing author J.K. Rowling's anti-trans positions in recent years. Now, to be completely fair, and we've said this multiple times, she's entitled to her opinion, but I also think she tweets too much.
She does tweet too much.
And she's tweeted some really dumb shit over the last year or so. She was like copy-pasting anti-trans stuff and then attaching it to like a kid's artwork and like...
or something. It was an accident, but it was like...
Too much butterbeer or something. I'm like, if I were her PR, and again, she's one of the richest women in the world. you can't tell her what to do, but I'm like, I would be like, hey, Joe, yeah, put the phone down, please,
Here's the
please.
thing, though. They made her give back some awards she got. It didn't change the fact that she did the things that she got the awards for. And it's funny to me because the other celebrities say stupid shit all the damn time. They're always saying something stupid. And they're always insulting someone, and they don't have to give theirs back.
Remember when everybody loved her? And that's funny because I remember pointing out when she said Dumbledore was gay.
There was no indication.
There was no indication. I'm like, hey, not to be that guy, but where is this canon in the books? Because she just kind of pulled this out of her ass after the books are done. It's kind of a weird thing.
They were throwing parades for her, basically.
Oh yeah,
on the shoulder until she made comments they don't like.
Until you say one thing she said many things. Again, I think she needs to stop tweeting. Anyway. The U.S. Quidditch and Major League Quidditch associations. I didn't even know this was. I knew they did it, but I thought it was like a LARPing thing. I didn't know they actually had associations for it. Oh. They announced in a joint news release Wednesday they will conduct a series of surveys over the next few months to decide on a new name for the sport, which resembles soccer and field hockey, but as a contact sport with broomsticks.
You do know that you don't own the rights to that, right? You do know that she does, right? Like you're
not if we change the name, it doesn't count anymore.
That doesn't how trademarks and stuff work. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
For the last year or so, both leagues have been quietly collecting research to prepare for the move and have been in extensive discussions with each other and trademark lawyers regarding how we can work together to make the name change as seamless as possible. This is probably about making sure she doesn't get paid. She came up with the game. She came up with the rules of the game. So we're basically going to steal the game from her and change the name of it to cut her out.
Because it's ours now because we don't like her statements. That's not how this... I mean, I don't know if she'll do anything about it, but I can pretty much guarantee you that if she wanted to do something about it, she could.
Yeah, because she created the rules of the game. It's laid out in the books, and they even admit that they base the game on her books, and she could say... I don't care if you change the name. I get a nickel every time you prance about on your broomstick.
Right. And it's like, it's not as easy as that. Just because you licked it doesn't make it yours.
That's a different game.
No, but I was thinking about our ex-partner who tried to trademark our name when she had no rights to it because she honestly thought if she trademarked it, it was hers. Because, I ran ads on you. And I'm like, well, then in that case, I ran Google ads. I own Google now.
Yeah. Right. The leagues say there are a few reasons for the name change. Among them is the name Quidditch is trademarked by Warner Brothers. So Boomstick. I don't know what they're going to call this. It's produced the Harry Potter movies, etc. The name change is also part of an effort by the leagues to distance themselves from the works of J.K. Rowling.
As they keep playing a game based on the works of J.K. Rowling. They kind of go together. You know this, right?
This makes no fucking sense.
Like, oh my God. Like I am offended by peanut butter, so somehow I want to still have peanut butter, but it's not made out of peanuts or not made out of butter, and it's not anyway. But you know what I mean? I have to remove one of those words because
it's nut slime.
That's right.
We're gonna call it nut slime.
That's right.
From here on out, it's not peanut butter. That's trademarked.
I'm sure nut butter is probably trademarked too because
nut butter. Oh.
There's probably like
nutter butter. Yeah.
Well, no, I wasn't thinking nutter butter. I was thinking
there's
probably some stuff medicine out there that's trademarked nut butter.
Nut butter. Oh my God. Rolling is schmooze.
Smooth.
Oh, I just said schmooze. It's better than chunky. Chunky, you might have to go see a doctor. Rowling has faced criticism for her views on the transgender community, which some have called transphobic. She first made headlines in 2019 when she publicly supported Maya Forstater, a British tax specialist who was fired over tweets that were deemed to be anti-trans. 2020, she mocked a headline that used the phrase, people who menstruate. I actually would kind of mock that too, because it's kind of, persons who own penises. Like I've seen these like headlines. I'm like, I don't think that's anti-trans, but I mean, we have to call all men persons who own penises.
Yeah, I know. It's just
penile challenged if you don't have one.
What about there were women out there that are cis women who can't menstruate because they have like PCOS or something wrong with them. That offends them. Where was the outrage?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, like, people menstruate because some men, they're arguing menstruate. There are women out there who can't menstruate who are cis women. And what about how, isn't that ableist? Isn't that offensive to them from an ableist point of view? I mean, I'm just saying we can argue this all day. Everybody's offended by something is my point. You can offend everyone. You can say the sky is blue and someone's offended.
A few days later, she doubled down on her views with a nearly 4,000 word blog post. You should have written another Harry Potter book.
Yeah, don't.
Instead of writing a 4,000 word.
She really does need to stop tweeting. Some of the things she says, I'm like, oh my
Twitter
God.
called it a transphobic manifesto. Basically, she's like, I'm effing J.K. Rowling and fuck you. And she's got fuck you money. I mean, they talk about fuck you money just being a couple million dollars. She's worth like hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars at this point. She literally can do whatever the hell she wants to do. And people are not going to tell her differently. And that's what's getting her into trouble. I don't know if she cares if she's been canceled. You've got that much money, you might not care. You might be like, oh, boo-hoo, I'm going to go back to my castle now.
Pretty much. That's exactly what it is. But I was reading it, and basically her point she's trying to make was that she's worried about girls and women going to the bathroom, and there's a bathroom issue about, if a trans woman was in there. Here's the thing. I think most of the time you're not probably at risk from most trans women. I think you would be at risk by, men that aren't trans pretending to be women, dressed like women that go in there and to assault people. And that has happened. That's where it gets to be a sticky situation. And I don't mean that.
You don't mean nut butter, right?
No. I'm just like,
because that really is,
because that's the crux of it right there, and not the Horcrux. That's the crux of it right there. Is I think that I think most you're probably not at risk for most legitimate trans women. The problem is there are people that have used it to go and get access to the restrooms to assault women, and that's the sad part of it. So but then people that go to the trans that are trans and go to the men's room have been assaulted too. So
people have been assaulted by same-sex.
There have been women who've gone to the bathroom and got punched in the face because someone thought they were a dude when they were actually women.
Oh.
Because they looked manly. It's a difficult situation for everyone concerned.
Why don't we just have I don't know. I think the whole public bathroom thing, personally, I think it's kind of gross. I think we should have little individual bathroom stalls with locks on the doors.
When they have bathrooms and they have they have the men's room, the women's room, the ladies' room, but they also have companion bathrooms or whatever. Yeah. And I think that's a nice help for people who might be in a situation that might put them in a dangerous situation to go in there because of the way they identify or whatever. I think that's fine. And people who have issues have issues using the restroom, that's a nice option for them too, because people can't go in front of other people.
Oh, okay. So I know you asked me just a couple weeks ago. You're like, isn't it kind of weird that guys go to the bathroom together and they just kind of whip it out in front of other guys? Mm-hmm. Yes. It's really incredibly...
I can't imagine how awkward that is for you.
It's freaking weird, which is why I usually try to distance myself a couple of urinals away from guys, because I've actually peed in front of other guys before and then I caught them sneaking a peek. And I'm like...
For real?
Yes.
Probably looking to see if theirs is bigger.
Well,
the answer is no, it's not. I get a cookie now.
There's going to be nut butter tonight. Nut butter flavored cookies. No, anyway, I mean peanut butter. I just want to make sure it's not giving any money to Mr. Peanut, because he's a racist.
Why is he racist?
I don't know. Because I said so. Because Twitter said so.
No, doesn't he have a monocle and a mustache?
That means
he's obviously alt-right. and Ogliarchal.
Ogliarchal.
I don't know. That's my new word.
Anyway, look, she needs to shut up. I'm going to be honest. She doesn't have to, but if she's worried about her image, just some of the stuff
I don't think she is.
No, she isn't. That's the point. I mean, they're trying to cancel her, but
she's above being canceled.
Pretty much.
It's not going to happen because, for all people mad about it, which honestly, statistically speaking, is a very, very small group of people. Yeah. There are lots of fans who know nothing about it because they aren't on Twitter and they don't read pop culture magazines, and they have no problem with J.K. Rowling. They're probably like, why isn't she at the 20th anniversary thing?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. They're like, did she die? Did she die? She's dead
Maybe
to
she
us.
Has COVID. I don't know.
Maybe she has COVID. It doesn't seem to be affecting the trailer performance at all. I was looking through the comments on the new Fantastic Beasts movie trailer. And hardly anybody's mentioning this because the general public's not aware.
Well, the activist types would go in there and be like, well, did you know? Did you know? She said this on Twitter. Everybody says shit on Twitter that they wish they couldn't said later.
Actually, not everybody, because normal people don't use Twitter.
That's true.
No, because most people will be like, yeah, Hagrid coaster's pretty fun. Next.
And you know what's funny to me? Yeah, pretty much. You know what's funny to me, though? People that said stuff like, there's been how many people have said stuff like 8 years ago on Twitter, it got canceled recently, and they got canceled for things they said, and it's not always guys, sometimes it's women, too, and they're all getting canceled for things they said. And, it doesn't mean that they believe that now, because they said something stupid earlier.
Yeah, most of the comments on here is, in support of, most of the comments are in support of Johnny Depp. Yeah. And it's kind of weird because they didn't even make Mads Mikkelsen look like Grindelwald at all. Like, he looks like a totally different character. Like, at least when they changed Dumbledore's, they made some attempt to make him look the same. Because robes were different, but they at least made some attempt to have it be somewhat cohesive. I don't know. It's weird though, and again, this is the root of it right here, guys. Like, all these articles written on how to cancel J.K. Rowling without canceling Harry Potter, and you can't have it both ways.
You can't have it both ways, because no matter what are you gonna do? Change the name of the author? You can't do that. People were saying my headcanon, it was written by somebody else. And it's like...
Lawyers say otherwise.
You know what? Yeah, it doesn't matter what your headcanon says.
I mean, they have tried to rationalize Hogwarts Legacy. Look, the same people that canceled J.K. Rowling were coming after the one single developer on Hogwarts Legacy. And they tore through his YouTube channel to find videos from like 5 or 6 years ago that were open-minded, I guess, in regards to Gamergate. And I don't think that would have happened had it not been a Harry Potter
they wouldn't
product. I think they're looking for ways to cancel this game.
And I'm just thinking about, there's a lot of celebrities or different like franchises that are things I like, and people that are created them or that are starred in them have said stuff I don't like or I don't agree with. And you know what? The difference is I can separate from it. The closest I can get to not separating, I think sometimes with the Disney stuff is hard. I do like classic Star Wars, and so I can understand people who want to support something. I won't like support classic pretty much only in Mandalorian stuff, but I don't support the stuff I don't like. But it's still supporting Star Wars, and so I get the point, get the issue. That's the closest I can come that I can compare it to in my mind. But there's a lot of things I like, and the people that are part of it said shitty things I don't necessarily agree with, but it doesn't mean I hate everything about it now because they said something stupid.
Yeah, I mean, there have been a lot of actors, even recently, we cover some of the drama around actors saying stupid political shit, one side of the aisle or the other. And it's like, it doesn't mean that I don't like movies they've been in, or that I'm going to like, I have to admit, sometimes it's really hard to separate that because you watch a movie and you're like, oh yeah, I remember when so-and-so said this stupid shit last week, even though this movie was made like 10 years ago.
I guess it's a little different because she created it, but still, I'm just like, I just think that, one, I'm sorry, I just think playing Quidditch for real is kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. You do you, fam. If it makes you happy, and you're getting exercise, then I'm all for it. It's just, to me, it's a little bit weird.
You're hopping around on a broomstick, pretending to be a wizard, playing with balls.
And it would be okay, because we did stuff like that when we were little. But then there's people that get paid. The actors got paid to hop around the broomstick playing with balls. So, what can I say?
That's true. Look, whatever. Professional wrestling is kind of weird too. There's sports that are weird. Actually, you think about, like, all sports are pretty weird because they don't really serve a function other than to, almost like this primal instinct of us versus them, and our guys win over your guys, and but the reality is that they don't really serve a function. It's just entertainment, I don't
know. But they're gonna change the name now.
I guess if you want,
got trademark lawyers involved. Okay.
Broomstick ball, broom balls.
Sweep those balls.
Sweep those balls. Anyway, are we gonna wrap this up?
Yeah. There's not much else to say about this.
No. No, we've milked this one.
You know
like
what? I'm looking at this picture right here, right? And I'm like, how often does someone get a broom to the crotch? Like, she has them pushed back from the side. But I guarantee you, people have been severely injured with these broomsticks. People running at speed, jumping into each other. There's sharp, pointy objects. Somebody's getting, something stuck in places they shouldn't have gotten it stuck in. And getting injured with this.
If you weren't menstruating before, you are now.
That's right.
So, all right, we got to wrap this up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.